Hello everybody, welcome back to Anomaly Cup number 1. We are in the lower bracket semifinals right now between Void Warrior and Wavy Watson. Let's open our info doc here. You can see already it's Kharak versus Soban today. Well, that's interesting because in the info doc it says that they both picked Soban, but well, that's clearly not true. Probably just a small mistake, and we do have that carrier fever going on, as is tradition. Always smoke the base runner. Although, as Kharak, you really don't want to retire, which I think is what he's doing here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Void Warrior, your carrier's got a fever! Oh, no, not mobility. No, you need to reestablish. Ah. He's taking damage already. Oh, dearie me. Well, hopefully he figures that out in a moment. But yes, it is going to be Kharak versus Soban here. And we actually have a base runner retire from both sides of the map. So typically as Soban, you want to keep that base runner in the early game against Kharak because you can do some funny stuff attacking them. By the way, 1,000 health lost on this carrier. But finally get to put the power in the reestablished system so the carrier fever does go away. But yeah, that base runner can actually be quite dangerous for that Kharak player who is quite blind, of course. Looking at the map bans, it was Kartoba and Torin Crater banned out here. And this is going to be Wavy Watson's pick, so he's the one who chose to play on this map here. Very small map, right? The brush distance is pretty short, and you can see already all of these sand skimmers coming up, but as has been demonstrated many times before, sand skimmers are not very good combat units against other mid-tier units on the field, so unless he's able to actually, like, get on the salvagers and the carrier here, this is not going to really go anywhere. Don't have any carrier power for Void Warrior either, so he's not going to be able to power up that mobility system at all. And shots fired here. Carrier getting involved as well. Here come the sand skimmers, and yeah, it looks like it's just going to be like a straight up, I'm going to kill your carrier type of rush here, but Void Warrior realizes, okay, that's not going to work. He's going to turn it back out. But taking some pretty bad losses already. And now we have a Soul Chip Fab started here to try to wrangle this back, but we might be looking at a dead PC here, which is probably not the start to the series that Void Warrior was looking for. Orbital strike coming in here, just, you know, normal things. Fun fact, by the way, sand skimmers can actually open the wreck if they are shooting at a unit that's nearby. Okay. Yeah, and AS Tech is just not done yet. I mean, I think that PC is dead, so unfortunate, man. Although, can you really say that? I feel like this was his own masterpiece, as they say in Star Wars: Third of the Gatherers. Now goes the production cruiser, and if I were Wavy Watson, I'd be feeling good now. I'd be looking for blood. Looks like he does want to expand while he's ahead, though. That's the right thing to do, of course. See, he gets that SC out, and he's building some salves too. But also, with his LEVs, he's going to move forward for the attack. And you always want to see that, right? I mean, if your opponent is, you know, completely cut off in the early game by losing that PC, you don't want to just sit around. You want to move in there and kill him. And I guess for Void Warrior, the only thing to do here is build another PC, so there it is. And he's got a Soul Chip Tech, so he can try to build that to protect himself. If I were Wavy Watson, I think I'd be getting error here, actually, but he's gonna go for railguns instead, and this is kind of that state of the game where, like, you do whatever you want, you're so far ahead. Being careful about the salvagers, that's good, that's good. Yeah, you never wanna ignore the det packs, they can be deadly. But yeah, still no carrier power at all for Void Warrior. That's a little bit concerning. And he's just gonna have to fight like assault ships versus LAVs here, but like, you know, look, assault ships are very slow because they still don't have mobility support. And Master Chief being angry again. Yeah, whatever. So the speed debuff there is really making it difficult to avoid the LAV shots. And yeah, Void Warrior knows like, okay, this ain't going anywhere, he's just gonna GG out. Wow, that assault ship blowing up destroyed the carrier, that's crazy. But yeah, Wavy Watson gonna take game 1 just off of a very obvious build order mistake from Void Warrior. So, let's move on to game 2. Which is gonna be on the Firefish map, of course. Now we're moving on to Void Warrior's pick here, and his next one is gonna be Kalash Teeth. So Kalash Teeth, kind of like the Shallows, very, very small map, easy to rush on. But again, ConF does not really benefit from that sort of thing. What they benefit more from, I think, in Anomaly is having a map that's very closed off, and you know you can use indirect fire a lot. At least in Jiraki, I guess that would be true. Anomaly is a little bit different. But I guess my point is, if he's picking that, you know, in order to have oh dear, he's on fire again. Okay, we're gonna take that out. There we go. If he's picking that in order to have like a very fast rush distance, I think he's gonna be regretting picking ConF instead of Galzian or even Coalition and so on. Because they're really just not the same faction in Anomaly, you know, they need that carrier power, and especially with Sand Skimmers being quite useless in the fight against LAVs. Feels pretty rough to be trying that sort of game plan. So, I don't know. I mean, that's very much just how Void Warrior plays. If you've seen him playing other, like in Jiraki Cup, right? But I just don't think it works in Anomaly. So we'll see if he adjusts his game plan here this time. It's gonna be LAV Fab again from Wavy Watson. Still with that base runner retired. Very curious. And he's just gonna go 2 base if he's not attacked, it looks like. I still think this is not a great build, right? Because he started LAV Fab. Oh, wait a minute, how long does an SC take to build? Maybe he actually started LAV Fab after he had the SC queued up. It's entirely possible, and I just completely missed it because I'm stupid. Okay, well, I'll refrain from saying anything then. We do have assault ships coming up here. Yeah, I know, but I kind of have obligations, Chief. Homeworld 3 is only coming out in like 10 days, you know. And there's assault ship Fab finished. 2 PC as well, isn't it? Because what else is he building here? Oh, very sad to see the logistics module not put on the rec, but that's alright. Sometimes the money just doesn't quite work out, does it? But Void Warrior is never gonna have enough CUs to be like double pumping assault ships, is he? I'm confused what he's doing here. Well, who knows? Yeah, like I said, I'm very busy these days. So yeah, 2PC is out here. They're not moving across the field really, so again, like if you wanted to be really aggressive, you'd have to move up forward, wouldn't you? Like, because again, you don't have mobility support, you haven't invested any carrier power, so these units are quite slow. About the speed of the LAVs, actually, right? 90, 104. Faster, but barely. And it's not ref mode, so what's he doing exactly? I don't really understand. He's beginning to believe, as Morpheus would say. Well, who knows? It's gonna be 3 base from Wavy Watson unless he gets that other SC out. And notice that he cues the SC to go over there instead of the carrier. Good move. One of the annoying things about Firebase Creel is that it's actually quite easy to get stuck here. So if you bring your carrier over there, it can be kind of hard to get it out. I only just noticed that, like, this hill is less steep than this one. Anyway, we do have missile battery fab finished right now. This LAV actually makes itself known, annoying some salvages over here. But I think the real news in this game is that, like, look, we're gonna be on 3 base in just a moment here, and Void Warrior is still on 1. I mean, he's long hauling, but that doesn't count as a second base. Maybe you give him 1.5, but again, remember, no mobility support. These guys are even slower than usual, so yeah, it really feels like we're in like a 1-on-3 base scenario here, which is ridiculous, right? Like, I don't know, Void Warrior just kind of hasn't done anything this game. Also, note the damage taken by the support cruiser here. I wonder where that came from. That has been known to happen before. But he's actually getting armored unit defenses 3 here, even while he's still on 1 base. He hasn't gotten ref mode at all. And Wavy Watson will have armor 3 pretty soon as well, and then it'll just feel like, well, missile batteries are better, so now you need to tech switch into something else, but you still don't have any money. This is really a terrible situation for Void Warrior to be in. And it feels quite random, doesn't it? Like, he could have clicked this a long time ago, but finally gonna get ref mode started up here, 6 minutes in. More missile batteries, like you do. Armor 3 would be good here, but it is expensive, so he hasn't gotten that yet. And he's actually running? I don't think you run, I think you just go in here. You win this. Yeah, look how little damage he's taking and how much damage he's dealing there. And both sides have AoE here too, so there's no advantage in like having a bunch of numbers for Void Warrior. Looks like the 3rd base a little exposed right now though. And those assault ships are faster than the missile batteries, that's for sure. Even without that mobility support being powered at all. Okay, ref mode finally finished, so now we're getting up to 3 base here. Uh-oh, I know it's not happening. Oh, no death times. Well, I guess he knows that the missile batteries are going to deal with this on their own, so he's not too concerned about it. So, a little bit of mining time denied, but that's it. No permanent damage done to Wavy Watson here. And yeah, sure enough, Void Warrior feels he has to tech switch into something. He does. I mean, you know, you can't fight this, but you don't have any money. So like artillery and smokefish are not really options here. So you're gonna have to go with railguns instead. Yeah, I don't know. This really feels like a bit of a head scratcher from Void Warrior. Well, I say he doesn't have any money. He's got a ton in the bank, actually. He's got a ton in the bank, so he can certainly queue up a few units, and I just saw a bunch get spent there, so I'm not sure what it was on, but probably heavy railguns. Those missile batteries keep rolling along, man. They're almost at the carrier now. And still no carrier power at all? That's gonna mean assault railgun, dart maneuver? What? Oh no, tell me he's not building those. Oh no! But assault railguns aren't going to be good at all here, because look, you have like 10 armor. Don't they do 10 damage per shot? Oh no. Oh no, not like this. Oh, that's very much the wrong choice. Assault railguns, of course, in Anomaly, the super long range but very low damage unit. Not going to be what he needs to deflect a blow coming from these missile batteries here. Not to mention, look at the vision range that he's got, or rather doesn't have, I guess I should say. Right, that's the other problem, is that you've got this, like, super long-range unit, but... You know, you can't see anything, so you can't really use it. Best of a bad situation, though, put them back in the corner here, because they'll be able to range, like, the extraction zone. You know, they have crazy range, so you don't need them to be close up at all. And it is convenient for him that Wavy Watson is sort of afraid here. He shouldn't be afraid. This is a fight that he definitely wins. He just doesn't know it yet. Because, yeah, look how much damage, quote-unquote, these things are doing. It's ridiculous, right? I know he's taking 9 damage. You know? If you multiplied that by 100, you would have him at, like, less than half. Or more than half. You know. Railgun a little bit more susceptible, because it only has 3 orbits. Better range on the Railgun, but doesn't really matter. You're never going to compete range with the Assault Railgun. You just want to drive up on top of it and ignore its damage. Oh dear, we got a tack stack coming. Stack Bomber Fab here for Wavy Watson. Lots of logistics modules too. I guess his army is pretty big. I mean, look, he's at like 93 pop cap here. Yeah, he doesn't seem to know it, but like if he just kind of F2 clicks on his opponent's carrier, I think he just wins. Tax Bomber. Oh, don't remind me about taxes. Whoa. Good positioning with the railguns, though. Look how he uses this hill to cut off the assault railgun sightline there. That's quite nice. Doesn't want to drive too close, though, because then the assaults will get shots off again. But then, like, he can just drive up with the missile batteries if he wants it. And he is driving up on the other side. That's good. That's good. And again, look at the look at the vision diff here. This is ridiculous, you know? Oh, we got a fight. Oh, nice mortar. Yeah, again, Sand Sieger's not really what you want in this scenario, are they? But yeah, if you just look at the difference in vision here, it's absurd, you know what I mean? Like, it's basically everything to nothing, you know? And again, that comes from never getting any carrier power at all. So, Voidweary gonna GG out there when he realizes, oh, I can't fight this at all. And, there you go. It's gonna be game over. So let's move into game 3. Yeah, Chief, I was asking my parents, like, why do we even do tax returns anyway? Like, you know? Isn't it basically saying, okay, so we taxed you too much on accident, so here's what we owe you. But then, why not just tax me the correct amount in the first place, and then we don't have to go through the whole ritual, right? Is it like some kind of collateral to make sure that you do your return? But then why do they need you to do it? I don't know, it's just, it's so archaic.
Rally point designated. Move out. Salvage construction complete.
Yeah, I know I didn't have to pay anything to do it, but yeah, exactly, I still didn't want to do that. That's quite correct. That's quite correct. I actually worked, like, a lot last summer, so I ended up getting, like, $600 back then. That was nice. But again, like, why am I being taxed $600 more than I actually owe, and then you're giving it back to me? It doesn't make any sense. Not to mention, the year before that, I had done a lot of freelance work. Piano tuning, right? Oh my gosh. By the way, Voidweary doesn't take any carrier damage this time. That's improvement. I'm happy to see it. But yeah, if you ever have to do taxes as a freelancer, it's like 10 times more complicated. Oh. Yeah, I hated that. Although, you know, I guess that makes sense, right? I mean, if you're working for yourself, there's no HR department to do it for you, so... in that case, the taxes are actually like, okay, here's what I owe in taxes, right? Rather than, okay, you paid me, or you taxed me too much, pay me back what I owe, what I'm owed. Yeah, I don't know why we do tax returns, it's so weird. You can tell the games are really exciting when we're talking about taxes during the game. Thought he had hit his LAV there for a second. Long hauling RUs again. I was curious, he did that last game too. Well, I'm seeing 2 PC here, I suppose, and then it's gonna be missile ship fab. But missile ships really are quite useless against LAVs, aren't they? The best he can hope for is that maybe he gets one behind and then manages to detonate, and then he can have the PCs pick up the kills, but that's quite difficult to do with no carrier systems either. Because again, mobility support, right? I think that missile ships have like a base speed of 65. So if we're talking about a 25% speed reduction for everybody, yeah, no, that's not, it's not ideal. Now Wavy Watson just like, hello, come fight me. But he doesn't have anything to fight with. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, getting started on programming is quite difficult. Although I will say, I'm still quite amazed that you just sort of learned how to 3D model for that. When I looked into 3D modeling, I could not figure out, like, I couldn't make heads or tails of any of it. 41 speed. It's like vanilla BC speed. Oh dear. Faster than the carrier, that's for sure. He wanted to use the missile. Yeah, but you can't use the missile unless you power it up. In fact, look, that doesn't say right there. Look at that. Missiles cannot fire. But again, Wavy Watson actually gonna back out, and he doesn't need to. This is a situation where it would behoove him to simply continue the attack, because he's definitely winning here. But he's gonna back out a little bit, and that'll give Voidware a little bit of breathing room at least. But in the meantime, one expects he's just gonna reach 3 base again, and like we saw last game, Voidware perhaps will take a very long time to get there, because now he's actually obligated to defend anyway. And those missile ships are not exactly gonna do it. Look, the other thing that makes this really difficult to do is that in order to land the good missile ship hits that can allow the production cruisers to do something, he actually has to not be next to them, because he'll stun them too when he uses it otherwise. So, you know, this is gonna be really difficult. My name is Jafar. I come from afar. There's an EMP in my car. Take evasive action. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, you can see these LAVs just don't freaking care. I mean, they're like, okay, I guess I'll kill you then. We do have ref mode started now a little bit earlier, so that's good. But is it gonna be enough? Voidware says no, he's gonna GG out. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't even disagree, really. Like, I just don't know what you do in that scenario. And Wavy Watson kind of feels like he took the series for free, doesn't it? Very, very unchallenging for him. So, he's going to move up to the lower bracket finals. Very good job by him. And I think that we shall move on as well. As they say, there's nothing left for us here. Let's go.